Hello, this is a guide. Do you like my dog? Would you like a dog like this? Then you're at the right place. This is a straightforward and complete, quick guide as to how to birth your own Sister of Parvos, how to farm them, and finally how to make it to the final showdown on the Railjack mission. Afterwards I will also explain how the Kuva Lich System has been changed to be pulled in line with this new system. Both Kuva Liches and Sisters of Parvos follow a similar path anyway. 1. You birth the Sister or Lich at the requisite tileset. 2. You farm Murmurs by doing missions in their influenced territories. 3. You use said Murmurs to figure out the Requiem pattern for your powers on. 4. You have a final epic showdown on a Railjack mission where you can fight yours solo, or as up to a group of 4, where you take down each other's one after the other. So let us go through the process of farming a Sister of Parvos. So first of all, to birth a sister, you must visit a Corpus ship tileset and open a Granum Void at the Zenith Granum Crown level. To get a Zenith level Granum Crown, you must do one of the tilesets on Pluto or Neptune, where a treasurer will eventually spawn and drop one of these highest grade coins. However, if you already have one, then good for you, you can just go to any Corpus ship tile you want and offer the coin, the Zenith level coin, to the big hand and go into the Void minigame. To summon a Sister Prospect, the Corpus version of a larvae, you have to achieve at least level 1 in the Granum Void minigame. This means killing the Granum Spectres, and in solo this means killing 25 of them within the time limit. Add another 25 for each party member. I recommend Protea or Mesa to accomplish this, but there are plenty of guides on how to smash the Granum Void, so I recommend looking at some of those if you are struggling. When you return and are successful at meeting at least level 1, a Sister Prospect will spawn. As with larvae, you down her, and then the weapon that she will be spawned with will appear above her head. If you are happy with this spawn, then hit the action button, and then you will have spawned your first Sister of Parvos. Remember, as with liches, the progenitor Warframe determines the element of the weapon that the sister has. Note here I use Protea and I got fire, so choose wisely or experiment with different Warframes. The second stage is the grind that most of us will be familiar with, which is of course the Murmur farming. To do this for a Sister of Parvos, of course you just need to go to her influenced territories, which will always be Venus at the beginning, and more on that in a minute. Unlike the prettier unremarkable thralls the Kuva Liches have, the sisters have unique hounds that spawn on their influenced levels. Once killed and then mercy downed, they will give you some Murmur points. Note that the Murmur level you receive per hound is far more than a thrall will give individually. However, they do spawn less frequently, and so it kind of even out. Some notes in regards to the general updates to this system. DE has reduced the grind that Murmurs used to entail. So if you do a Kuva Lich, you'll notice that thralls do give quite a bit more Murmur progress than they used to. As described in the update notes, they describe it as this. We've reduced the Murmur requirements so that getting all 3 Requiem solely by killing thralls should be about 12 to 13 missions on average, down from 18 to 19 average, so that is a nice change. Next, there has been a change to the influenced territories. These are now fixed dependent on the level of the Lich, whereas before, when you were doing Kuva Liches, they were kind of just spread sporadically as you battled some of their nodes. All sisters will start on Venus at their level 1, and then will bounce around the star chart depending on her level as it goes up, following a fixed pattern as her levels go up. Note here that when she starts on Venus and then I defeat her for the first time, she advances to level 2 and moves to a new planet, removing all of her influence from Venus. This is the same for everyone's Liches and Corpus sisters. Kuva Liches following their set paths, and sisters following their set paths. This is to make for better matchmaking so that there's kind of fixed nodes for these influence points. More potential Lich spawns, more Murmur points. Yay. Then again we're on to a familiar sequence, the Requiem Sequence phase, and again this has not changed from the Kuva Lich system at all. However, for those new to the system, as you harvest Murmurs you gain knowledge of 3 Requiem mods. You need these 3 to beat your Lich, as these are loaded into your powers on, and through trial and error you will find the correct sequence and then eventually defeat them. As to how to find these mods, I suggest you watch a separate video on Requiem relics. After getting the sequence right, the Lich relationship does not end there as it once did. Instead, you now enter a new exciting showdown on the Railjack map. Liches flee to Saturn Proxima and sisters flee to Neptune Proxima. Saddle up. So when it comes to the final battle, you and up to 4 players can ride out into the stars, do a kind of standard Railjack mission where you blast some spaceships and some cruise ships, land on the big ship, and kill your way through everyone's liches one at a time, with the same choice as when it gets to your lich, whether you want to recruit or kill the lich. When you kill a sister, you get her weapon in your foundry ready to claim, as well as modular robo-dog blueprints. Yes, the dogs are modular and can be played around with. However, have no fear, a ready-made doggo is ready for you as well, dependent on what hound the sister used. So that's the end of the sister guide as a kind of straightforward and quick overview, and just to note some lich changes now. It follows essentially the same pattern. Instead of it being a high level Grineer planet you need to spawn a larva, you need to go to the Kuva Fortress, specifically that tileset, to spawn a larva rather than just any high level Grineer planet. Like the sisters, liches follow a set progression pattern across the system as they level up for a better matchmaking. And the murmurs are easier to find, as mentioned before. So that's the guide, guys. That's just my quick overview as to what changes have come to the Kuva Lich and Sisters of Parvos system with the Sisters of Parvos update. If you like this video, please give it a like and a subscribe. Share it to people who may be looking for a little bit of insight into how you do the new sister system. It's also not that difficult, it's just a little bit different from what other people are used to, and for new players of course it might be a little bit confusing at first, but have no fear, there will be more guides coming. So thanks for taking your time guys to watch this, and have a good night.